Hey guys, it's Adam Lavelle of the Noah Network coming to you with a special edition pre-show before Noah brings us their April 29th and 30th shows respectively. Now, the 29th show is in about 6 hours. So we're coming up to the N Innovation Junior Heavyweight Focus show. I've already previewed that. I've already previewed the 30th show, the Majestic 2022 show on April 30th. So what is this pre-show? This is a special edition show. Notice I'm sitting a little bit far off of my monitor here so I can get this shot framed in for what I'm here to talk about. I'm here to talk about what's buzzing around Twitter like crazy right now. What's buzzing around social media with lots of Noah fans losing their mind. It's on Reddit. I've already talked to a few on Reddit about it. So I felt, Adam, it's time to cut a video about this. It's time to talk about old Noah. Now, here's a problem I don't have an issue with. Now, I'm going to be honest with you guys. That might be because I'm 52 years old, and in December of this year, I'll turn 53. So I don't have an age bias like a lot of people have. But I want you to hear me out. I want you fans to hear another old guy out. All right, so sit back, grab some popcorn, take some notes, because I'll take questions after I post this. You want to fire some questions off? Please do. On Twitter, at @alavelle, on Noah's Reddit page, unofficial Reddit page of Noah. Just type in Pro Wrestling Noah Reddit on Google, and it's the first link every time. You can do it on my Facebook page if you'd like. Noah Saves the Wrestling World. Check that out on Facebook. If you got questions or comments about what I'm going to talk about, please bring them my way. Please. Now, what you see on this shot behind me is a group of old guys that a lot of people, and I don't know why I keep losing focus. Like, I'm shooting this through my phone and it's zooming in and out. I don't know if it's because I'm moving too much or what. I apologize. But we got a shot of a bunch of old guys with Nakajima hovering behind them, wanting to take his rightful place at the top of Pro Wrestling Noah. Let's make that crystal clear. That's what I think should happen. Okay? I believe Kazuhiro Nakajima is the guy who should be leading Pro Wrestling Noah here on out. I think he's the man. I think he's the ace. And yes, I think he is such over someone like Go Shiozaki and even over Keiji Mudo, who I'm a huge fan of. The great Muta was one of my all-time, if not my all-time favorite wrestler. It used to be Ric Flair. I have some personal reasons. I worked with Ric Flair on the Independents a few times. Sort of spoiled me on him. I don't hate him. I'm not here to badmouth him, but knocked him down a couple pegs. So the great Muta is probably my all-time favorite wrestler. All right? Now, I do think Nakajima should be the ace of Noah. I love his character. I love his gimmick. I love what he does. I love how he looks. He really outdid himself in creating an image that is special. So all of you out there arguing that Fujita should have lost to Nakajima are technically right. Now, I say technically because I have no issue with Nakajima losing to a monster Fujita and having to work his way back to the top and overcome Fujita for that title. I was bothered when Pro Wrestling Noah sort of shoved that to the side to bring Go Shiozaki in and put him back to the top. Okay, not because I hate Go Shiozaki. I just think that Nakajima's the better wrestler, the better gimmick, the better character, whatever word you want to use. He just is. And so that annoyed me. But I accepted it because, okay, I can live with Go Shiozaki. He doesn't bother me. He's great. So, okay. Now there's been a huge controversy we've already discussed. They've taken the title off of Fujita, all right? And they have decided to make it vacant and allow Go Shiozaki to fight someone. It looks like possibly Kaito Kiyomiya at this point, but somebody for that title in Fujita's place. Now, let me read the comments that are going around online real quick. I'm sorry, I should have shared this on my screen instead of this image maybe, but bear with me. Okay, with just a few hours to go until the first two back-to-back Majestic shows at Sumu Hall, we've got some news and notes regarding the politics behind the decision making the wake of Kazuyuki Fujita's positive COVID-19 test in the vacated GHC heavyweight title. Now, this is from Flagship Wrestling Podcast. I don't know what they know and what they don't, how reliable they are. I have no idea. This may be a joke. podcast. No offense, I don't know them. I don't know. But they continue. We were told Fujita was furious at the decision to strip him of the championship. Fujita was promised a long GHC title reign when he signed with the promotion and was set to hold the title until at least at the July Budokan show, where, as first reported here, the working plan was for a Fujita title defense against Keiji Muto. After what was considered a poor Budokan number in January, it was decided that a properly built Fujita-Muto bout was the best drawing match the company had for a rebound. That plan blew up when Muto was forced out due to a number of injuries, the most serious of which his ailing hip. In the lead-up to the Muto bout, after defeating Goji Ozaki at Majestic... hold on, I've got to skip to the next page. Fujita was set to beat Kaito Kamiya and Keno in short, dominant fashion to come to the Budokan match as strong as possible. As of a few days ago, the new plan for Budokan was Fujita versus Jun Akiyama on loan from cyber agent sister promotion DDT. Nosawa Rongai and others in the office believe that Akiyama helped move tickets the last time he worked at Noah Budokan in February of 2020, and the underwhelming number this past January has been partially attributed to Akiyama's absence. How they got to that match with Fujita now stripped of the title, how they will get to that match now that Fujita doesn't have the title, is anyone's guess. Fujita's replacement in the April 30th title match has not yet been officially announced as of this writing. Kaito Kiyomiya publicly challenged Yozaki at the Majestic press conference and is the likely replacement. If Kiyomiya does replace Fujita in the GHC decision match, Kiyomiya will then have to be replaced in the Kiyomiya and Inumura versus Marufuji and Mystery Partner bout. In an effort to keep his title, Fujita lobbied to have that tag match moved to the main event slot, with the GHC title match removed from the show entirely. Fujita also suggested an interim championship, which would keep his title reign intact. The latter option is still on the table. I advocated for that as well in my last video. It's what you do when the champion can't wrestle. That's what you do. As far as the mystery opponent goes, it is closely guarded secret, with only the inner circle of Rongai, Marufuji, Kendo Kashin, and Takagi knowing who that is. Fujita and the GHC just said, Kamo will have to replace... Okay. Sorry, I'm reading this and it skips around a little bit. Alright. Nobody will know, even Marufuji will not know who the mystery partner is until the day of the match. Okay, Hadaki Suzuki, this is another news item. Hadaki Suzuki recently caused problems for the office by refusing to do a job for Katsuhiko Nakajima on the April 8th Korakuen Hall show, forcing it to be changed to a 30-minute draw. Suzuki said he was willing to lose a rematch, but it was noted that Suzuki has used this ploy before, forcing a draw against Nakajima in 2020 and then leaving the company without ever doing the promised job. Suzuki's only loss since he returned to the promotion has been to Masakatsu Funaki, with the locker room speculation being that he is willing to lose to opponents with legitimate shoot credentials only. It should be noted that Suzuki also defeated 01 ace Masato Tanaka on the 01 anniversary event on April 10th. Now, some of this stuff, guys, I'm sorry, I don't really care about. Okay, some of this backstage stuff, this reminds me of people that are into AEW and WWE arguing about what goes on backstage. I really don't want to get into that. Okay, when it comes to Suzuki, well, even when it comes to Vegeta to a point, okay? But look, Vegeta's point, if he did make this point, that there should be an interim champion named, is true. When a champion cannot defend the title through no fault of his own, a professional company typically names or decides an interim champion, either names one or has a match to decide one. And then when the champion returns, he instantly gets the rematch for the undisputed title. That's how it's done. By professional sporting organizations, that's how Noah should do it. Simple as that. Now, getting back on track real quick, I read that news because I wanted it out there in regard to why I'm doing this. Everybody's complaint, and I mean everybody's complaint, everybody other than me and maybe a few others, I don't know, Fujita, are bitching and moaning and complaining that the old guys just dominate Noah too much. Well, take a look at these son of a bitches behind me. Take a look at these son of a bitches behind me. I mean, Keiji Muto, Kazushi Sakaraba, Kazuyuki Fujita, Masaki Mochizuki, Masakatsu Funaki, Takashi Sugura, Yoshinori Ogawa, Don Fuji. They're your guys that are 50 years old and older on the Pro Wrestling Noah roster. And guys, they are all damn good. I am not super familiar with Don Fuji. Okay, I don't watch Dragon Gate, but what I've looked up on him, he is damn good. But let's just go down these guys again. No particular order. Keiji Mudo, one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. If you argue that, just stop watching wrestling. Now, is he one of the greatest wrestlers today with his ailments, with his legs, with his hips? Of course not. But does he deserve to be shuffled out and just put out the pasture? Of course not. I'm all for Keiji Muto having another year or two, if he can do it, run, getting that national title maybe that he wants, that he's brought up numerous times. I'm not super for him getting the GHC Heavyweight Championship again. He's had that run. I don't think he needs it again. I don't think he needs to be the one who would have beaten Fujita for that title. I don't. Now, I'm not part of the Noah office, but I'm just putting my opinion out there. I think that's a bit much. But keep Muto around in high matches and important matches. Why not? Let's see how he comes back from this current hip situation. All right? Kazushi Sakaraba. Now, I know a lot of you suckers love this guy. His MMA skills, he can get in there and go with anyone. Again, should he be the GHC champion? No, probably not. But can he win the tag belts? Of course. Can he win the national title? Of course. Keep him around. He's great. Kazuyuki Fujita. Now, I know most of you people's problem with this guy is his past, and all I know is things that I've read, and I've read them recently. How big of a problem he's been, how he's refused to do the job, how he's not showed up, how he was. But I know your biggest gripe with him is that he was the champion of Inokiism. When Inoki was doing the Inokiism stuff, the MMA-based pro wrestling that most people hate, I didn't spend enough time with it to form an opinion, but I don't think I would have hated it quite as much as a lot of you. It may not have been my favorite, but I think I could have lived with it because I love GLEAT. I love their UWF rules matches. I love those. So I think I probably would have liked Inokiism on some level. Maybe not. But I'm coming in to Kazuyuki Fujita completely unbiased because I don't know that much about him. I think he's a solid wrestler. That match he had with Nakajima was excellent. Now, did he refuse to put Nakajima over? And is he a rotten human being for doing that? Maybe. Maybe he is. I don't know. But that match was superb. My problem isn't with Fujita, the old man, winning the match. He was as good as Nakajima in that match. And I love Nakajima, my boy. I'm a Congo guy. I want Nak on top. No doubt. No doubt. But do I have a problem with Fujita coming in? The old, hardened veteran, having one last run, beating my boy Fujita, sitting on top of the world until Fujita fought his way back, until Nakajima fought his way back and won that title back in a glorious moment. I would have loved that. My problem there is all of a sudden Noah embracing Go Shiozaki as the savior from Fujita after losing how many matches in a row. I didn't think that made sense. And I don't think Shiozaki is the man that Nakajima is in regard to being an ace. I just don't. It has nothing to do with age. But Fujita coming in as the old guy, so what? You guys need to lighten the hell up. It doesn't mean, Nakajima's going to go to New Japan. All these guys are going to run off. Why? If they're getting paid the same amount of money they have been, why? All this shows me is, how old's Nakajima? I should have looked that up. Is he 40 yet? Probably not. He's probably like 35, 36. So, say he took 2 years to win the title. He's still under 40. And he sees that Noah's going to use guys as long as they stay good and healthy and fit into their 50s. That means when he does win the title, even if it took him 2 years, he's got 20 years left on top. I think that's a pretty damn good sign. I don't see nothing wrong with it. Going on the list, Masaki Mochizuki. Want to get rid of him? Or keep him down? Don't want him fighting for the titles? The GHC heavyweight title? Nah. Should he win it? Not necessarily. Should he be a major contender? Of course. Masakatsu Funaki. Holy hell, guys. Masakatsu Funaki is one of the greatest wrestlers on earth right now. He gets in, people are afraid of him. And you can tell who's his challenger's been. Simon Gotch? Look, I like Simon Gotch, but he ain't beaten Funaki. Give me a break. Suzuki went down to him. Keno went down to him. And it was believable and it looked good. Did you see him destroy poor Hal in that mixed tag team match? He looked incredible. He's 50-some years old. But you guys whining and complaining. Take your shirts off and let's see a picture beside a shirtless Funaki. Let's see it. Let's see who looks like the old man that needs to go to a retirement home. You or him? I have a pretty good guess which one it would be. How about Takashi Sugiura? Takashi Sugiura, the 0-1 heavyweight champion. One half of the GHC heavyweight tag team champions. Former GHC heavyweight champion. Former everything champion. The guy who stood up to the Suzuki gun, told him to shove it up their ass. The guy who left that group and said, I can do better on my own. Yeah, he's too old, huh? Old guy. Get rid of the old guys. Yoshinari Ogawa. Everybody's favorite old guy. He's the oldest of them all. He's, what, pushing 55? Again, should he be GHC heavyweight champion? No. Should he be a threat? Yes. Could he win every other single title in that company? Absolutely. If Nakajima were to win the GHC heavyweight champion, if Goji Ozaki, could I see Ogawa beating Goji Ozaki? Abso-damn-lutely. You couldn't? You couldn't see Ogawa defeating Goji Ozaki. I certainly could. I think it would be a threat. I'm not saying he should if Ozaki wins the title. I'm saying I think he could. And Don Fuji. Now, he's the one I know the least about, so I'm not going to go on and on about him, but he's damn good. Don't push him away. Bring him in and use him right. These guys are great. Who cares how old they are? You guys sort of, we hear in today's society where we all have to be accepting and loving of every single thing, but for some reason that doesn't include ageism. For some reason, look, if you're talking about decrepit old guys that can't go, that's, Ric Flair. If Ric Flair came in and won the GHC heavyweight championship, no, come on. Some of these old guys that don't need, and he has, to his credit, he hasn't been in the ring recently, but he was in the ring way too long. Way too long. But there are old guys that can go. Sting shouldn't win the GHC heavyweight championship, but he's shown me enough, the little clips I've seen from AEW, because I don't watch that shit, but he's shown me enough that he's not embarrassing, that he can get in there and still perform on some level that's not embarrassing. I mean, I would rather see these guys perform than Kendo Kashin, who's probably old too. I didn't look him up because I don't like him. Because he's a clown, and I don't like clowns. I don't want to see Noah put these guys out to pasture like New Japan has put their old guys out to pasture. Now, some of their old guys, I'm not saying they need to be put out to pasture, but they need to be down low on the card like they are. But some of them are as good as the guys in the main event. What, because they can't bump as much? They can't take a Canadian destroyer off the top rope? They can't do a splash off the top of a cage? Noah doesn't do that shit anyway, but what were you afraid of? This is King's Road style. These older guys can handle it. They look good. They're great teachers. Did you see Ogawa versus Kiyomiya? Did you watch that match a few months back? It was amazing. Kiyomiya is the hottest young star Noah has. Inamura is getting there. And those two had a contender for match of the year. But, these old guys don't want to get it. Give me a damn break, guys. Give me a damn break. Now, if you watch my last video, I advocated for Kiyomiya to come in here and beat Goji Ozaki for the title. I said he should start his own group, his own faction, his own unit, as sort of NWO-ish, but not that outlandish. You know what I mean? Just a smart Z-Brat type of thing. These young punk assholes that just think they rule the world. Well, then I started thinking after I made that video, holy hell, just have him join Congo. Tell me that wouldn't shock the world. Put Kaito Kiyomiya in Congo and have him win the damn title. Have Congo win the tag titles the same night. And have your rebellious group on top. Including one of the old guys, Funaki, with the national title. But you got your precious young boy with the heavyweight title on top. You got Nakajima and Keno with the tag team titles. You got Funaki retaining the national title. And you end this weekend with Congo being the son of a bitches they want to be. The modern day NWO with attitude, going forward. A lot of people love them. A lot of people love Kongo. They love Nakajima, right? He's in Kongo. They love Keno. He's in Kongo. Give the major push to that group and make them your NWO. I'm not saying they got to spray paint the belt or take surveys before matches or any shit like that. I'm not saying it's a ripoff. I'm saying do something fun, exciting, and shocking. And if Takada, if the powers that be don't want to put Kiyomiya in the match or are hesitant about doing it or make him wait, have him have this attitude and be so angry that he joins Kongo. Damn straight. And there's your young guy at the top. But I'm sick of, what old guy we're going to put the belt on now, Nosawa. Comments like that, because you're not telling me that any of these old guys aren't any good. Give me a break. Most of them are just as good as anyone else. Nakajima, who I love, has plenty of time to get to the top of the company. If you do the Kongo story with Kiyomiya, you've got eventually some inner strife. Maybe Nakajima turns on him or vice versa. Maybe Kiyomiya starts calling the 30-some-year-olds old. And you got to fight there. Whatever. I'm not going to book Noah out, 2-3 years. I'm fantasy booking this, of course, and they aren't going to listen to me. But I'd like to see ideas like this from some of you fans rather than the bitching about the old guys. If we lost any one of these guys, except maybe old Don there, Fuji, who I don't know. And I hate to say that. I threw him in there because I know he's older and good, respectable. But if we lost any of our Noah regular old guys, I'd be disgusted. Not just lose them. I don't want them to start to be the Noah dads. Oh, here comes the Noah dad. Isn't it cute? The Noah dads. That's so cute. Bullshit. All those guys back there and kick the ass of any young guy you name. Every single one of them. Point to one of them that can't be a threat to the heavyweight title. Not saying they should win it. But which one of them isn't a threat? Couldn't be a threat. Which one? Based on what? Just how old they are. Well, he's 50, he's 51, he's 52, he's 53. It's bullshit. No, it's not. Why? They all prove that they're some of the toughest son of a bitches in the world. And you guys out there, I'm trying not to be angry, even though I kind of am. I'm kind of trying to be understanding. But and I'm not an ism guy. I'm not into any of the isms, okay? I'm not a politically correct guy. I don't lean left at all. At all. But by God, if this isn't ageism, I don't know what it is. It just seems to be a lot of pro wrestling fans don't like guys over 40. No, they're too old. They're too old. And I got news for you. Some of your big superstars that some of you probably watch, because I doubt there's a lot of you like me that only watch Noah, Great, and Stardom. That's all I watch. Only thing I have interest in. Everything else in the world sucks pond water. I can't stand it. Only 3 companies I can handle. So I bet some of the stars some of you like are getting up there too in their mid to high 40s. You're still cheering them on, buying their t-shirts. But for some reason, because Pro Wrestling Noah put the title on Fujita, who had it before him? Nakajima, Goji Ozaki, Keiji Muto was thrown in there, and Kaito Kiyomiya. So out of the last 5 champions, you had 2 old guys. And it's the end of the world. Well, it's all they do is put it on old guys. Keiji Muto and Fujita. Am I wrong? Maybe I'm wrong. I believe that's the last 5 champions. I really don't know what you guys' problem is. And out of their entire roster, we got 8 guys that are 50 or older. Now, that's probably more than most companies have. Probably. But they're the best damn 8 50-plus-year-olds in the world. Again, I think of someone like Randy Couture. Now, he eventually came up against someone like Brock Lesnar, and that was it for him. But for the longest time, Randy Couture's kicking everybody's ass. And he was old enough to be most of their dads. And nobody questioned it because, well, that's legit, Adam. Well, look at wrestling that way, you boneheads. Just because wrestling isn't legit, it's fake. Stupid son of a bitch. It's predetermined. It's kayfabe. You guys are morons. I don't watch not Resident, I don't watch, what's the zombie show I used to watch that I don't anymore? I don't watch The Walking Dead, saying, oh, this is fake. I don't watch Star Wars, I don't watch that anymore either since Disney bought it, but I don't watch some of my former favorite shows. Don't watch Marvel anymore since Disney owned them. But when I didn't watch that shit. Watch the Incredible Hulk smashing people around and think to myself, ooh, I'd like to see him, I'd like to see wings grow out of the Hulk's nose so he could use them to fly. What? It's not real. Who cares? Or out of his ass. Maybe he could sprout rings out of his big Hulk ass and flop them around to fly. That'd be kind of cool, wouldn't it? I don't watch The Walking Dead and think, oh, I hope when the crew goes into the next town, the problem they face is dancing zombies doing the Thriller dance. They're all out there doing Michael Jackson's Jig to that song, and they're like, what is going on, Rick? I don't know. They seem to be enticed by the Thriller song. I think we can distract them and get into the armory. Can we find a boombox? Let's go on the mission to find a boombox and a cassette tape or a CD of Thriller, because we've discovered that if you play that, they heard it over Norman Reedus' headphones when he came into town, or his motorcycle radio, and that died. So now we need to find something else to play the Thriller song, because those zombies will all start doing a little dance to it, and now it'll distract them, and we can get into the local armory and get some more weapons. Wouldn't that be great? That'd be great. It's all fake anyway. Who cares, right? Who cares? Maybe on Chicago PD, I still like that show. Chicago PD, they could all start wearing little shorts. Like, what's that stupid comedy cop show that I don't watch? I don't remember the name of it, but they can incorporate some of the comedy from that show, because it's a smorgasbord and TV has to evolve. So let's have the detectives on Chicago PD, like Hank Voight, wear these tiny little shorts, because they do it on that police comedy show and people love that. I mean, it's fake anyway. Who cares, right? That's how you clowns that are out there look at pro wrestling anymore. That it's fake, it's a joke, it's kayfabe, everyone knows the secrets. So let's do stupid shit. Let's do stupid shit like pretend these 8 guys aren't 8 of the toughest bastards in the world that deserve to contend, and some of them even deserve to win the GHC Heavyweight Championship, like Fujita. Take all your opinions and thoughts about, oh, he held people up, oh, he legitimately hurt people. I trust Noah to know what they're doing. Okay? Just like with Michael Elgin, another subject to totally. I trust Noah. I trust the company that I love. If I didn't, I wouldn't be doing these videos. I wouldn't be tweeting about them. I wouldn't be writing articles. I wouldn't be hyping them the way that I do if I didn't trust and believe in them. Now, does that mean I like everything they do? No, I just said Nakajima should have been at the top over Goji Ozaki. And that bothered the piss out of me. But I don't go online, and I can say that, and I have said it. But I'm not like, oh, here we go. Now it's doing stupid stuff that I don't agree with. I trust them. I trust that they're not going to screw Nakajima out of greatness. I trust that they're not going to screw the young guys out of their love for the old guys. And you should too. Stop being a dope.